We're beginning Perek Daled, it's Hilchos Pesach, and the Rambam begins Hilchos Chametz U'Matzah. He cites, and this Rambam always does, even without citing it, what he codified elsewhere, that it applies all in everywhere. Says I already cited in Psulim Mikdoshim Pesach ein nishcha l'shem Pesach. It has to be slaughtered for Pesach l'shem Ba'alav. Now let's take a look at the Peirush, and he brought the Pesach. He slaughtered the Pesach of Reuven for Shimon, or he took Shlomim for Oila. It's possible. And the Rambam says, it says Pesach, Osisa Pesach l'Hashem Elokecha. It must be done as a Pesach. So you need to think about Pesach. If you change it, it's possible. And most karbonis, you change it, it's kosher, but the Baralam has to bring a new korban anyway. He didn't fulfill his obligation. If somebody slaughters a Pesach for his group, he says, tells them after a while, you should know that which I gave you. I slaughtered it not for its Pesach. They can rely on his words, and they have to bring another Pesach. Otherwise, the rule is, the Halacha is that we don't trust him. Somebody who wants to be careful, maybe didn't fulfill his obligation, he should bring a Pesach Sheni. The Amerikog is, besides the Gemara and Gittin, if he was doing what? He was doing Taharis. And he said at that time, the Taharis that I did with you became Tomei. Or he was doing with him Zvochim. He says to him, he's believed. But if he says in past tense, was that what I did with you became Tomei yesterday, or Zvochim that I did for you, I made them piggle by thinking of the wrong time to eat them, he's not believed. So more questions. What's the difference between the two situations? So Abaye says, the first, while he's doing it, he's in charge. He can make it happen. Therefore, he's believed. But the day after, why believe him? Rava says, even if he can't do it, he's believed. And when he isn't believed, that he meets him and he didn't tell him anything. And then he met him a second time. That was, he did it. The Kohen did it, and he didn't met him. He didn't say anything. The second time he met him, he told him, I gave you Tomei to eat. There was an incident. Somebody said to his friend, the Taharis that I did with you on such and such a day were Tomei. They came before Rabbi Ami. So he says he's not believed. And from the language, Shur Sadin, that the law subscribes, he's not believed. The Rambam learned that if a person wants to be machmer, then he's praiseworthy. Now, the Kesef Mishnah cites a Tosefta Psochim, and somebody saw the Pesach for a group, and he said, I did it for a Shlomim, or not for a Korban Pesach. He's not believed. The Kesef Mishnah says that Rambam learned that that's only by usual people. But somebody who's a person who is a believable person, we rely on him, as it says in the Gemara. There was a situation with someone who said to him that one woman, somebody said to him, one Ada said your wife committed adultery. I'm like Shmuel said, if he's believed to you, give her a get. And there the Lashon Tosefta is that Shur Sadin is not believed. Meaning, so the Rambam learned that if a person wants to, he can rely on it, and it's, in a sense, it's praiseworthy. The Raiva disagrees. Omar Avram, Ein Kan Shevach. What kind of praiseworthy? If he's potter, he's potter. He can't bring a Pesach as a Dover or as a Shlomim. What's he going to do? And therefore, the Kesef Mishnah asks as well. The Rambam himself says so. He just wrote, as we learned earlier in the previous chapter, that by 5 people they can't say it should be either a Shlom or a Pesach. And here he's saying it's technically that I don't know whether it was Tomei, it was postal or not. I'm bringing a Korban Pesach Sheni. So the Lechem Mishnah asks on the Kesef Mishnah, I don't understand. No, the Kesef Mishnah first answers that what it says, bring a Pesach Sheni, he doesn't mean he should himself bring. He should be together with others, even though he won't eat from it. So the Mishnah says, I don't understand this. That the Gemara pushes this away, this concept. And the Rabbeinu also says it's considered slaughtered for not those who are not counted on it. And if you can make a condition that like this, then everybody all the 5 groups should make a condition to be with another group and not eat from it. Therefore, the Lechem Mishnah says the Rambam means to say that one of them is more stringent. He should bring a korban. If he wasn't Yetzirei Pesach Rishon, this should be Pesach. If he was Yetzirei Pesach Rishon, it should be Shlomim. And even though before we said you can't make such a condition when it comes to 5 different groups, the Rambam, then every group can't do this, is because you have to pour it by Pesach and by Shlom Bezrika. What do you do with Zrika? You shouldn't do Lechatchila to begin with. B'shvicha, that's when you have a lot of people, when it's public. However, when you're doing individuals, so you can hide 1 or 2 Korban Pesach that can be done this way, and therefore it's okay, because he doesn't want to have the Isser of Chorus. So the Mishnah questions this answer, because we find the Rambam's Paskins that somebody was digging on in a wall fell and covered somebody. We don't know if he's alive or dead, and you're allowed to dig him out. And at the same time, they shechted for this person a Korban Pesach. We don't know if at the time of the shchita, when they found the person, he was dead. So it could be when he was digging the rocks on top of him, he was already tomei. And the din is he's potter from Pesach Sheni. Now, if an individual can make this condition, this fellow, we're not sure if he was tomei at the time of the digging, should make a Pesach Sheni with this condition. And he leaves it with the questions to why the Rambam doesn't say the same rule applies there. So as Emes answers, the Kesef Mishnah's question, why you can't bring a Pesach Sheni out tonight, because the Sheret who slaughtered Shaloi Lishmoi, and you can believe him because he's Nemon, and therefore you can do Pesach Sheni Lechatchila B'Shvicha like every Pesach. But by Chamisha, when it was mixed together, the suffix by all of them is similar, and they have no one on whom to rely. Here you have to rely on the person who says, I did it wrong. Therefore, you can't bring a Pesach out tonight, so you shouldn't change the way the blood is given. And with this Hezbollah, he answers the question of the Lechem Mishnah from those who dig over a dead body. Therefore, because there too, the question, the person who became Tomei, he's not relying on anyone. It's a doubtful situation. There's nothing to rely on. Therefore, you can't give him the right to do so, to make it tonight. Chaim Abalafia says that this rule, that Korban Pesach, if it became possible, has a din like pigul, and just like you can rely on the words of his friends that he's believed they made the Korban pigul, so too he can be machmir on himself with Pesach when he slaughters it Shaloi Lishmoi. If the sheret is believed, since Benadin is a suffix, therefore he can be machmir like the person who slaughters, and he can bring a Pesach Sheni. But 5 people, their skins got mixed together. All of them don't have to make a Pesach Sheni. And Mishum Sofik, you don't bring a korban tonight, because they'll do an issa with the way they deliver the blood to the mizbeach, and also they can't do it with others on Pesach Sheni, because then it'll be for people that aren't supposed to be on the korban Pesach. You don't do that to begin with, and by Choyf Begal, that it doesn't help him. He's not going to be able to know to eat from the Korban Pesach. Save Mikrei Kodesh, Chaim Abulafia answers the Kesef Mishnah in a different fashion. that by 5 they got mixed together, since the majority fulfilled their obligation except for one, therefore, if they'll go on one Pesach, it's Shaloi Lemnuyav, because most of them are part from making a Pesach. But when one is in Suffolk, and all are obligated in Pesach, and when he goes, the others on the Pesach Sheni, when he goes with them, he's not considered like being Shaloi Lemnuyav. But he questions, if that's the case, why don't we say that 5 whose skins got mixed up, that they should all become with different chaburas, and they won't be considered a number. So Chaim Abalafi says, because Rabbim do an Issa because of one. Because l'chatchila you shouldn't put on a Pesach somebody who is certainly chayav, obligated with a Pesach. Therefore you shouldn't do so. So Zemes explains the case of Mishnah, that his intent is we should be with another group on condition that if he's liable for Pesach, he's counted with them. If not, he's not counted with them. And he'll be also to eat from the Pesach, because maybe he's not counted. So the Pesach is counted, if he's counted with them, then he's a Menuyav. And if he's not counted with them, then it's not Shaloi Menuyav. And the Sfas Emes says, 5, that the Korbanos got mixed together, you don't tell them this idea, because the Rae Gann Family says that the Rambam codifies the Halacha. Somebody says to his agent, go and slaughter for me a Pesach, and he said to him either a goat or a sheep, and the shliach forgot what it was, and the shliach also forgot what he said. If the shliach forgot before the blood was sprayed, you have to make a Pesach Sheni. At the time of the Zrikas Adam, it wasn't roy to be eaten. But if you forgot after Zrikas Adam, then they put it from a Pesach Sheni, since at the time of Zrika, they knew for who was going to be the blood was sprayed for, and it's considered that it could have been eaten. Therefore, by 5 that it got mixed up, we can't say they should all go on a condition, because at the time of Zrikas Adam, or the Baal Mum, it wasn't able to be eaten at all, and it'll never be clarified. But when somebody slaughtered and said, I did it Shaloi Lishmoi, it could be that Adam will come and say that he did it wrong for the wrong reason. Therefore, it's considered that they could have eaten the korban, and he fulfilled his obligation, even though at the end the Adam don't come, and therefore, and the suffix was not verified. Therefore, there he can make this condition to be honored or not. Therefore, if he believes the person, we can consider that also as if it was clarified, and therefore that's why he can join another group, because his believing the person is like having witnesses come and say that the person actually slaughtered it for a different purpose.